we already know that as of 2024, there are way more genders that are being announced that many people can even be aware of. Like, I think people have lost count. I think people have lost direction. They've lost understanding. And I'm one of those people. I'm sticking to the fact that there's only two genders. I mean, when we have gender reveal parties that are still happening in 2024, why is it that there's all those other genders aren't there? We have blue and pink because people are trying to figure out if we're having a boy or a girl. And from those genders, it's very easy to determine what kind of life you're going to have. If you're a guy, well, you need to go look for yourself a woman. If you're a woman, you need to go find yourself a man. Well, interesting enough, I was scrolling on the internet and I stumbled across this couple. Apparently, they are a new identifying couple that's interesting, where a straight woman finds herself marrying a gay man. Let's hear what she has to say about it, and we'll talk about it after. Let's get into this.
I'm Samantha, and I'm marrying a gay man.
That's me. We're often asked this question if we have a monogamous relationship or if we have partners on the side. And the answer is we are 100% monogamous. We both feel only comfortable with being in a monogamous relationship.
That's the example that has been set forth for us, and we just ultimately personally believe that that is the most healthy relationship.
And we want to emphasize and normalize a relationship like ours that is monogamous, but is in this mixed orientation bracket where I'm gay. And if you're truly fulfilled by your partner in the way I am with Samantha, you don't feel the desire or need to go outside the relationship, no matter if you're gay or straight or whatever.
And we want to encourage people to seek partners in life that make them feel great. You shouldn't be seeking someone based on the external stuff, because that's going to fade one day.
Yep.
And when you're 90, what are you going to do? Your tits are going to sag, baby.
All right. This is an interesting one. I get it from the standpoint, the Bible even tells us that beauty, that stuff, it's fleeting, So yeah, you definitely, when it comes to any relationship for that matter, you don't want to be picking someone just off of looks, image, because all that stuff is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. But this is just confusing to me, because the question that was even posed in the beginning by somebody else who must have been confused from seeing this, they asked him, are you monogamous or do you have sex outside of your relationship with your respective attraction? They don't even do that, because this is one of those things where they say we have a soul tie. But I want to know what this soul tie is. Now, in this situation, I usually talk about it when it comes to homosexual relationships, homosexuality in general. I always say, well, homosexuality, the attractiveness of same sex, it is a sin that people can carry. It is a sin that people can have. It's a desire of the flesh that some people can have. Now, partaking in that desire and partaking in any activities that could fulfill the need that someone could have for a homosexual desire, that's where the sin becomes indulgent, and that's where it's really bad. So I find in situations like this, I would always say in the back of my head, not knowing that it actually existed, that, well, if somebody's gay, they just don't need to act on those gay activities. Just don't be with a man. Don't get into it with a man. Don't do any of that stuff. Just be by yourself. Or you could be with a woman and pray that God would give you the attraction for the woman and rid you of that negative spirit of homosexuality that's trying to, overcome and take on to you. But as I'm seeing it here in firsthand, knowing that that is not the reason that they're doing this, as he said, we want to normalize and emphasize this new thing, I'm getting at a loss of words at how much we're trying to normalize these days. It's going to get to a point where everything that is legitimately abnormal is going to become normal. And then we're going to be living in what I would consider an abnormal world. This is confusing for children. It's confusing for kids growing up. It's confusing for a lot of people who are being birthed and born into societies, into this world, this day and age, where people are complicating a simple relationship. They're complicating homosexuality even now, like it's like at one time you were homosexual and then homosexual is straight, and then it moved to now you're homosexual, you're bisexual or straight. Now you're homosexual, bisexual, transgender or straight. And it's like now you're non-binary, homosexual, transgender, straight. It's getting out of hand. Another question was asked for these people, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have if you see a situation like this. They're saying, how are you going to have a girlfriend if you're gay? Unless you're bi or something. This is where it's like, as the time has gone on, people always say that, oh, Christians, you guys are bigots, you bigots. As time has gone on, I think that we've tried to understand it. Of course, we want to understand it a little more so we know what to pray for. But as time has gone on, I think we've been as accepting and as inviting and understanding as we can be. But this is confusing because if you're a gay man, how can you be with a woman unless you're bi? That means that the relationship has to be missing something. I know they're talking about these soul ties, but then that makes me want to ask the question, what soul ties are you guys really excited and happy and connecting off of? You know what I mean? What spirit are you guys really founding yourselves off of? Like, this is interesting. Let's hear this response. One more clip. This guy, like I said, he was asked, why does he have a girlfriend? How can he have a girlfriend? How can he be getting married to a woman, wanting to spend the rest of his life with her, knowing that he's not attracted to her physically and he's not attracted to her at all because she's a woman and he's only attracted to men, and he's made that clear. Let's hear his response. Let's check this out.
Yes, I am gay, and yes, I also have a girlfriend. This is my partner, Samantha Wynn Greenstone, and we've been together for 6 years. We just celebrated our anniversary, and we wanted to open up a little bit about our relationship because it's been so confusing for a lot of you. I am gay. I don't label myself as bisexual. My preference is men, but I have been in this closed, exclusive relationship with Samantha for 6 years, and it has been a dream. And not to say it hasn't been confusing for us at times, but it is important to be open and honest about these sorts of things.
Sometimes a soulmate is just a soulmate. And Jacob has been completely open and loving with me. And when he looks at me and talks to me, he makes me feel like I am the most treasured, loved human being on this earth. And our relationship to the outside world appears very straight unless you know us. And that's because we have the same dreams as heteronormative relationships. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
We want to get married. We want to have a kid. And we have just chosen each other in this lifetime because we love each other's souls. We are finding more and more people who we know have these relationships, and
there's no book or self-help out there for this dynamic.
They're like, you must be gay, you must be bi, or you must be straight,
or you're out,
and
that's not how it works.
Well, it is how it works, let's just be honest. But even then, this is interesting when people kind of point this out, where it's like, I don't want to be in the box, I want to be unique, I want to be different, I want to just stand out. When they do that, and you're saying, well, you must be gay, you must be this, you must be that. But then on the other hand, you're like, we need to normalize this. So you're like going out of a box to then put yourself back in a box. And you're demanding that the world acknowledge that box as one of the boxes. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is confusion. She mentioned something else that stood out to me this time that I didn't notice the last time I watched it. We chose each other in this lifetime because we're connected to each other's souls. This is obviously not of God. This isn't a relationship that's founded off of the word of God, off of the fear of God, the reverence of God, whatever you want to say. whatever you want to use. So when we're talking about we chose each other in this lifetime, it makes me already know and hear and understand that I don't know what lifetimes you're talking about. I don't know if you believe in a lifetime after this. We obviously might not be believing in the same life after this. So this is crazy. This is far left. You know what I mean? It's just interesting how I think how backwards things have gotten, and a lot of people just aren't really talking much about it. And I feel like if you do, I don't know, maybe it's looked at as a bad thing. But hey, man, just like I talked about in my other video with Andrew Tate going off on Christians, the one thing I agreed on with him, we got to have more people who are going to be fighting for God and willing to stand up for the word of God and for everything that stands on. But that's all I got for you guys on this one, man. This is interesting. Like I said, I don't know how much more farther we're going to go with trying to normalize new things after new things after new things. Pray for the world, man. Pray for people's hearts. Pray for people's minds. This is where it starts, right up in here. Pray for people's minds. What happens up here, it's controlling a lot of what goes down everywhere else. People's actions, decisions, choice, everything, man. Pray for people's minds, man. I pray for you guys for staying this long, for watching it, but that's all I got. To the next one. I'm out.